Whew. Hi, everyone. It's Cassandra Williamson. How are you? Been in a rush. Trying to help my brother, doing all the trans-terrace training stuff I've been doing here lately. You know, you just have to keep moving. So let me get some lights on the subject so I can see what I'm actually doing. Why am I kind of not lit up like I should be here? Anyway, so kind of. So I've been on Twitter this morning also, and found it really interesting because somebody had posted about this. And this is from down in Miami, where there's this crosswalk and this intersection had been beautifully painted just like that. I mean, it really livened up that whole community. But then Sanctimonious Ron decided to take it out and remove it because, you know, it offends some of these weak-minded little ass people that come down through there and they go, "Oh, look at this. This is rainbow colored stuff. We can't have that around here. We don't want anybody to know that these people exist. So we're going to go in here in the middle of the night and just rip it all out." And then somebody had the gall to ask on a Twitter feed if I supported this. My response was, hell no. Why would I support that? So I hope you don't mind that I'm putting my makeup on at the same time. I had some of it done, but you know, things are moving. Oh my gosh, I've been out in the backyard, back of the house too, working with my brother. This is his property here, and I was asked to come up here a couple of years ago, or actually I volunteered to come up to help out with caregiving for my mom and him and for my sister. And so here we are. Been up here now since December of 23. Left my place down, left my home in Alabama and came up here. And so it's been a blessing all along to be able to be here and do these things. So right now, you're going to get to watch me finish this up while I try to talk to you also. But this image right there, that really just, I mean, the person asked if I thought that should be ripped up. If I agreed with Ronnie Sanctimonious down there in Florida that it was removed from Miami. And of course, it's horrific for people to remove that. And I had some people on there on Twitter going, "Oh, I'm so glad to get back to this, you know, the asphalt look." Really? You must live in a really bleak, dark place to be able to say that you actually enjoy the lack of color and vibrancy. Like, you live on the water in Miami, of all places, and you object to vibrancy and color. I just don't get that. I don't get it. And if somebody had the gall to tell me, basically, this is me paraphrasing it slightly. I can probably pull it all up too. Let me see if I can find some of those comments because it's just so hilarious. Let me see. I got to go. I'm going to show you some of these things that said. I'll show you the actual post. Let me see. Where is it? Oh. Oh, we're going to spend some time on Twitter. Oh my goodness. You want to see a rainbow so bad, wait until it rains and go outside. I do. I love the rainbow when it does rain. I just saw one here in eastern Kentucky not too long ago. But let me put my liner and stuff on my eyes. Y'all can watch. Okay, just hang on. These people are ludicrous, really. So let me see if I can do this. Putting a little bit of white liner on my lower eyelid. It's not very much. I don't want to stand out too much. It's just kind of like helping my eyes pop a little bit. Go. And somebody said, basically, they said, "Why don't you just sit down and shut up? If you don't have much time left on this earth anyway, we'll take it from here." That's me paraphrasing what they said. Can you believe somebody would say that? Sit down, shut up, because you don't have much time left. We've got it from here. This is our game now. Really? Really? My reply back to that was, next time you talk to me, get permission from your parent or guardian. And then I also said, and Grok, tying the AI system for X on there, I said, Grok, what's the age limit for somebody getting onto Twitter? Because apparently this person is really, really young and shouldn't be on here because, I mean, what else would explain that, right? Okay. I'm not going to do a whole heck of a lot. I don't have to do a whole heck of a lot. I'm fine with who I am, right? Are we? Aren't you fine with who you are? You happy with who you are? I am. I'm putting a little bit of stuff to make this pop too. And you got to blend it in really well. And I'm thinking about all the kind of crap that's over here on Twitter right now on my other monitor. And this is the stuff that trans terrorists have to deal with. You know, this is satire. If y'all don't know, this is satire. This is satire. I'm not about going out and shooting up people because they think differently than me. I'm not going to go destroy art in the middle of the street simply because I don't like what it represents. I mean, I'm not that much of an infantile person. Are you really? Are you? You're so butthurt about art being in the middle of the street somewhere? How many times have you seen art in the middle of the street, on a street corner? Tell you what, you go up into some places like Cheyenne, Wyoming, and shoot, they got art on the corners, on the street corners. And there's some of those pieces of art that I absolutely find reprehensible. I mean, like, there's a statue, there's statues of all the presidents on this one avenue of the presidents or something like that. It's got them all down through there. And the one that actually stands out the most to me as being the worst president ever, other than the current occupant, was Andrew Jackson. I'm so offended by that man. I mean, he shoved the Indians and made them go across the country and against their will and took away their land and actually forced them onto the Trail of Tears. Many, many, many thousands lost their lives. All because, good old Andrew just thought he knew better. He wanted the land that they had down there in Georgia and Alabama and South Carolina and all those places. He wanted that land for the developers. Right. Yeah, no. So I just think they ought to take that piece of art down, don't you? We ought to be calling up Cheyenne, Wyoming, and tell them, you've got to get rid of that piece of art right there. I'm butthurt over that. No, leave Andrew there. I disagree with him. But it is a piece of artwork. It is a statue, a bronze statue of the presidents in a row. So just take them all down because, it hurts my feelings. I'm sorry. No, leave them alone. These crosswalks and stuff, is anybody really offended? But that's such a pretty thing right there. And look, it's a beach town. You can see the palm trees around through here. You can see that there's a bus stop over on one corner. They've got it blocked off right there, getting ready to tear it all up and everything. Are you so offended by that when you go across it, you think you're going to turn gay or something or lesbian? Do you really think that close proximity is going to make you gay? Oh, that is so cool. Why don't you come with me? Let's just go walking across this thing here before it was removed by the weak-minded person down in Florida, de-sanctimonious Ron. Anyway, I got to get back in. Oh my God. Okay, so this person replied to me over there, and the Right Pulse News is the one who had asked the question, do you support this, yes or no? And my response was, no, I don't support that. Why the heck would I support that? Right? I mean, the post, here's the actual post. So I'm going to go back over. Let's share a page. I'm going to share a page a minute. And we're going to go back over here. And I got to put my lips on too. Putting on my lips. Get that on there. And notice I'm not worried about all of this stuff all that much. I like to have my face on when I go out. But, that's just me. Okay. Anybody for a little smooching? I'm not. Don't need it. Smooching leads to other stuff. I'm not. Nope. All right, so let's share a page. Let's go over and take a look at what's going on Twitter. And I'll get into some of the talk about for trans terrorist training up in the holler in Mudlick. All right, so let me increase the size of the page over here. I want to increase this so you can actually see it better. So this morning, Right Pulse News posted this. It said, Florida just obliterated the LGBTQ mural at Delray Beach. It's near Miami. Do you support this? Yes or no? If yes, give me a thumbs up. Well, you know darn well I don't support that. That's a beautiful piece of art, and you turned it into this black, drab, ugly, scratched up road surface. all because you are butthurt over the rainbow pride flag. Now, this is crazy. Here's my response to this thing. No, I do not support this. It's dumb. It's horrific. Most of all, it's deliberately cruel. So, no, I do not support this and will fight against DeSantis and the small minded idiots. And that's how I feel about them. They're entitled to be a small minded idiot. You really are. You're entitled to be it. I'll protect your right to be that. I serve so that you could be a small minded idiot. But Lord God, stop wearing it on your sleeve so much and get butthurt over somebody else's desire to live freely in this country and with a little color and vibrancy in it. I mean, can you honestly tell me that you prefer the black grays of the image on the right side of that has no color in it? Do you actually like that? Is that preferable to the beautiful design and beautiful colors that you find over on the other image? And I want to know something. For the people driving across that thing or walking across that intersection or interacting with that in any way, did you really feel like you were turning gay? Did you feel like maybe you're getting ready to go hug up on that girl over there in the corner, you and your girlfriends and all that? Did you really think that that's what was going to happen there? No, no. This is so dumb. It is dumb, 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 dumb. And there's only one reason for it: cruelty. Trying to shove LGBT people out of the public square so that nobody knows we're around. They don't want you to know that we're here. So let me see this thing, that Pulse News. Go over on Twitter if you're not over there sometime. Go over on Twitter, sign in, create an account or whatever. Come and join me. We're going to have some fun over here. All right. So that's what I said. And I put my little image down here on the bottom. This is what it says. Can you hear that? Civility is a fantasy. That's something that New York Post wrote an article about all of that. I took it and turned it into a AI generated image, a little bit of music. Anyway, then somebody replied. There's 32 replies to this thing, and 3 loved what I said. Carlio. Okay, anyway, horrific. It's pretty dramatic. My response back: the obvious cruelty is what makes these actions by DeSanctimonious and other sophomore leaders in Florida. That's what makes it horrific. It's just craziness. Do you support cruelty to other Americans because they are different from you? Then I said live at noon. Hopefully somebody over there actually is coming over and checking it out, huh? And then when you strip the beauty and color and that's what I said, when you strip the beauty and color from the world, you end up with the Middle East. Is that what you want for America? For the nation to be clones of bleakness, drabness, and holier than thou ignorance? Somebody like that one. There were 4 replies to that. Let me see what Cardio said. I'm all for beauty and color, but that flag is only for a small group of people. Shouldn't public art be for everyone? Taxpayers are paying for the city to do it. So installations should reflect what the majority of citizens want. So let me ask. So you think I should go? So you think we should go ahead and get rid of the Electoral College? So you support eliminating? Can I even spell eliminating the Electoral College? College. I bet they won't even catch the reference to that. Yeah, I don't have a high opinion of such people. Fine. I admit it. I don't. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so you support eliminating the Electoral College? I think that's a pretty good response, don't you? They said up here the taxpayers are paying for the city to do it, so installations should reflect what the majority of citizens want. Well, I say get rid of Electoral College and let's just see how far you go along with that minority representation crap. I mean, it's still a good, valid idea. It just needs a lot of tweaking. Okay. Let me go back. I have doing this because these people are just so much fun. So much fun in here. All right. So there's 4 responses to this. Let me see what else was said here. No. I want everyone to be able to express themselves except the one group which runs the future of America. How they running it? By not breeding. Oh my God. Oh my God. John Strickland. Did you happen to pick up something from Cracker Jack box and actually turn that into a piece of philosophy or something? Because give it back. You interpreted it all wrong. John Strickland. Cryptomoki. Let me see what John Strickland is all about here. Let's see. Where are you? Oh, you got 147 followers and you're following 154 people on Cryptomoki. Well, interesting handle on there, John. No picture. 6 minutes. No. Okay. So, no, here's what John said. Look can y'all think of a good positive response to this? I don't know that there's a positive response to this person. He's got his head stuck up his ass. No, I want everyone to be able to express themselves except the one group which runs the future of America. How are they running it? By not breeding. Oh my God. Oh, I got to take this call. Hold on. It's from the Huntington VA. Hello, can I help you?
Hello, this is the Huntington VA Medical Center. We are calling to...
I know about my appointment on Thursday. Thank you. Already the population is shrinking exponentially. Not only is this person dumb, but they're also very dramatic. Overly dramatic. I mean, hyperbolically dramatic. Okay. Any other adjectives to describe that way? Let me see. Already the population is shrinking, and add to it that the Muslims and Mexicans are outbreeding you 5-1, and figure out how the fuck these rainbow waving cunts are helping society. Please make it clear to me. Hey, John, I'm talking about you on the show. I'm talking about your stupidity, STUPIITY, on my show right now. Let me see if I can get up a link for this person, make the job easier for them. I'm going to go over here to get a link for this live show. And hold on a minute. We're going to sit through a bunch of stuff really fast like here. I'm going to go to here, go to my live shows. I like listening to all kinds of music, actually, for a long period of time. Live. All right, so let me get this link right here. Share. Copy the link. Go over to there. Get out of this. Paste. You're welcome. Semper Fi. Sometimes these people are just dumb buckets. I don't know where they come from, but they're Americans. They're entitled to be dumb and stupid. Yep, they really are. They really are. Oh, I'm over here on this page. Okay. Well, we'll see if John shows up anyway, because I would love to have a conversation with old John boy right there. John Strickland. I'm going to read that again because can you imagine somebody actually thinking like that? No, I can't. It's mind-boggling. It really is. No, I want everyone to be able to express themselves except the one group which ruins the future of America. How are they ruining it? By not breeding. Already the population is shrinking exponentially. Add to it that the Muslims and Mexicans are outbreeding you 5-1. And figure out how the fuck these rainbow waving cunts are helping society. Please make it clear to me. That's the dumbest thing. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. DUMBI, dumbest thing. It's an EST, not an IST. Dumbest thing / statement I've seen on here in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. Like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. I got to learn how to type. I can't get my fingers working today. Jeez. This is the dumbest thing statement I've seen on here in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. There you go, John. Oh, you opened that one up, buddy. Not breathe. Come on. Jesus Christ. The population of the world is increasing. It might be increasing more slowly, but it has not reversed. It decreased, but it hasn't stopped and turned around and become a negative thing. It's still accelerating. It's still increasing. Let me put it like that. But it is not accelerating as fast as it was. And why that's a big deal, I don't know. It comes and goes in cycles like that. It does all the time. Just get over it and go on. We'll be here for millions and millions and millions of years anyway, as long as we don't blow each other up, right? Already the population is shrinking exponentially. No, that is not true. Let me just go right here. Let me do this. This is the fun part. Grok. Can you help John out here, please? Help John with this, please. I love turning Grok onto all these things because you know why? It's out there as being the best, the biggest, and all that kind of stuff, and people generally don't want to go around claiming that it is woke or anything like that because it's by Elon Musk and he can't stand his trans daughter. So maybe it's got to be something, right? I mean, he's got to be onto something. But Grok will tell you the truth, even correct me if I'm wrong, and certainly will correct you when you're wrong, John. Show probable spam. Let me see who responded to that thing. Safety issue. It is not a safety issue. Post Waffle House, New York. Prove it. Grok, what say you? This as a safety issue. Okay. My God, where the stupid come from? That's weird. So the Queer for Palestine comes to terms with the Middle East, won't accept them. Why do you people hold them so? Where did you get that from me? How about this? A mural on a building. You shouldn't place certain objects on roadways. It's a safety issue distracting drivers. As a matter of fact, that is not true. As a matter of fact, people slow down and observe the art and are more likely to take their time, unless there's some idiot who wants to leave black marks all over it with the screeching of their tires and try to gain some kind of notoriety that way. But otherwise, these places are far more safe, have bigger, greater safety outcomes than the tarmac look. And anyway, the people who would be the mean ones who are out there doing crazy things around this, who would be causing violence around these, they already don't like gays and lesbians and trans people. They're just doing it to be able to tell them, we don't want you around. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go back. I haven't even made it off of anything else on this because this has been so much freaking fun. The comments over. There's 10 responses, all kinds of things. Okay. Grok replied. Evidence from like the 2022 Bloomberg Asphalt Art Report shows colorful sidewalks and crosswalks reduces injury crashes by 31% by boosting driver awareness. Though minor incidents rose slightly, federal guidelines favor uniform markings to avoid potential confusion. No broad data confirms distractions lead to hazards. Claims of safety risk often stem from standardization preferences rather than proven accident increases. Yeah. Yes, of course. All right. Then Grok replied to John, U.S. population is growing 0.5%, 56% in 2025, projected to 371 million by 2050, not shrinking per U.S. Census data. Well, but you have to take that with a grain of salt, though, because you got the Trump administration going in there and manipulating the data and the data that's collected so that it comes out and makes it smell like what they want it to smell like. Rather than being objective gatherers of data, they're turning this stuff into a political thing where you can't trust anything the government does. Their data, their science, anything. And that's the whole point, right? They want to destroy your ability to have a trusted source of information, even the mathematics and science and statistics of things. Fertility rate is low, 1.6 overall, but Hispanics average 1.97, not 5. Muslim rates are declining globally. No U.S. data shows 5-1. LGBT, 9% of adults, isn't a main factor in trends. Many do have kids. I've got 4 kids and 8 grandkids. Dynamics are complex, driven by economics and immigration. Blew John Strickland right out of the water. John, are you still around, John? Why don't you go look it up, do up some actual digging into stuff before you make some stupid statements like that. Oh, no, let me see. Dynamics are okay. Carly said, also, you worded that like a statement, but added a question mark at the end. Don't you know a little thing that actually asks that way? You haven't seen that before, where it kind of is a question implying that you already know the answer and you're just making it a question so that you can have a conversation around. Oh my God, there's nuances just went fly right over top of people's heads on this one. So you support eliminating electoral college? What? Yes. What? Yeah. It is a statement with a question, and do you agree with it? It is a statement, but with a question for you. Okay. Oh my God, it's so much fun on here. Jeez, okay. It's a statement, but with a question for you. Okay. Oh, wait. I mean, I hope this is not too much. Oh my God. That's going to go, and they won't even be able to reach that one. Okay. Okay, let me go back over here. John, have you replied yet? John, Isabella reposted you. All the gay people I know are fed up with you. The LGBT movement was good until it got hijacked by degenerates. Perry Huckleshits. Oh my God. Oh, you don't know many gay people, do you? We'll put a question mark at the end of that and an exclamation mark. Maybe is that too confusing for them? Huckle shits. What? Oh my God. Okay. Huh? Why are you mentioning this? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What? No, you're the one who brought up minority. You're the one who brought up the majority ought to have a voice in things, right? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm right here. Why? You said that the majority's voice matters. More than the minorities. So if regarding, so if that is your opinion, PINION, then to avoid any hypocrisy, then to avoid hypocrisy, HYPOCRISY, the Electoral College should be eliminated, right? It gives minorities a voice in Congress. It gives minority populations in small states an outsized voice. In congressional representation. Okay. Unavailable. I better take this one. Hold on a minute, folks. How can I help you? Hello. Goodbye. Okay, so we got all of that out of the way. So look, I'm having fun over here on this darn thing. Why you mention this? Okay. It is a station for you. Okay. Somebody like to reply. Why not fly a Nazi flag in here? It's just colors, right? Go for it. Go for it. Be an idiot. I served. Let's see. I served. So you. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Cry. Why not? Cry. What did Anna say with the lightning mark? Happy lemon. Happy lemon. One. Okay. Cry. Okay. Let me see if I can post another image. This might help. I've got a couple of images that might be beneficial for this particular case. Let me post Alan Turing up here. I'm going to post over here Albert Cashier, my family. You can put 4 up there, and I'm going to put that image back up on top of that. Y'all know who Alan Turing? You ever hear of Alan Turing? Anyone? Do you know who he is or was? Alan Turing? Did you ever study about Alan Turing, how much he helped us win World War II? Most Americans today probably couldn't tell you squat about Alan Turing and the impact that he had on our success in winning World War II against the Nazis, against the fascists. You know why you don't hear much about Alan Turing? Because after he solved the Enigma code, created the computer science techniques that became modern computer science, after he did all of that as the father of computer science in the world, he was a gay man. When they discovered that, they institutionalized him and gave him 2 choices. We're going to put you in prison for the rest of your life because he's gay, right? I mean, this was in late 40s, early 50s. But his other choice was castration, and electroshock therapy. He took the latter. He didn't want to be in prison. None of that stuff solved the problem that everyone else saw as a problem, which was being gay. He died several years later, a few years later. But most of you have never heard of him. You know why? Because he was a gay man. And that's why it's important to have those things that you see on that screen right now, like that pride flag. He would not have associated with that. He didn't even know what that meant. It wasn't something that came about during his lifetime. He solved problems. He was a smart, intelligent person who solved a problem, helped us win World War II. And then what did society do to repay him for that? He was a British citizen. What did they do to repay him for that? Locked him away and gave him a choice: prison for life or chemical castration, electroshock therapy. What a reward for the work that you did to help win our peace in the world. And then to have most of society completely ignore who this man is. I wasn't taught about Alan Turing in my history classes in high school. You know why? He was a gay man. They didn't want me to know about him. You know why we never heard about Albert Cashier? A person who fought and served in 40 different campaigns during the Civil War as a Union soldier. You never heard about him either. A person who escaped Confederate capture and went back to continue serving with the Union Army. And then to have Albert receive a pension from the United States Army from the time he got out until he died in like 20 or in 1915 or so, somewhere around there in that period of time. But just a few years prior to him dying, they discovered he had got sick and went to a doctor, and they discovered that Albert had female anatomy. Oh, the anathema of that. They notified the Army stripped Albert of his pension. And then his buddies he had served with in combat, in battles during the Civil War, wrote letters and helped get his pension reinstated. But when the doctor found out, you know what they did? Put him into an insane asylum and forced him to wear dresses. He had never worn dresses. But they knew right. I mean, they were doing the right thing according to whatever it was that they were adhering to, because, you know, they were also the same bunch of people who put a lot of people in insane asylums who were left-handed. And you think that's a joke. You think that's just being me being hyperbolic or making, no, it's not. That's actually stuff that happened. Teachers would tie the hands of left-handed people behind their backs to force them to use their right hand, because according to the Bible, only right-handed people are worthy of sitting at the right hand of God. That went on until the 1960s in some places. And you wonder why I get riled up when people go around taking up pride walks, things like that right there, that image you see on your screen. This one. You know why I get riled up over it? Because it represents people who have been oppressed, driven down, shoved out of society for a long, long time, for no good reason other than, I don't know, it just makes me feel queasy. I don't want to see that stuff out here. They're the same ones who will tell you that they want to put up a monument to some Confederate rebel at the end of the 19th century, you know, around the 1900s, 1910, sometime like that, the women of the Confederacy putting up all these monuments to remind black people of their place in society, knowing darn well that would be offensive to a lot of people. They did it anyway. And fine, leave them up if you want to. Leave it up if you want to. That's perfectly fine. But don't go around and ripping down stuff that actually represents the people in those areas. How many of you know that there was a Union captain in the Navy who had escaped from the Confederacy, was a pilot, a ship pilot in Charleston, escaped from there, went to the Union side, told them how to navigate through that channel, and then served honorably with the United States Navy as a black man. You know who it was? Go look it up. Part of the history you never heard of. Part of the history you've never heard of. Okay. Yeah, I get riled up about it. What else is going on over here on the Twitter feed? You suffer? I love it in time. As a matter of fact, I may move to soon. Colonel Baggin? What? Colonel? T. Baggin? Colonel T. Baggin. Yeah, Colonel. I'm live talking about you right now, too. Okay. Let me see if I have a link to that on here. There it is. Okay. Right there. Come on over, Colonel. Are you a real colonel, or are you just like a, I don't know, Kentucky colonel? Are you like one of those Kentucky colonels? Piece of paper that says, hey, I know how to fry chicken, and I know how to drink mint juleps and go down and watch a bunch of horses. But you get a colonel's commission in the Kentucky militia. Yeah. 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 I am one. That's the funny part. I've been a Kentucky colonel since the 80s, the 1980s. Oh my God. Okay. Let's get back to over here to Colonel T. Let's see what Colonel T's page looks like. He's got 73 followers and 195 following, and there's absolutely nothing about Colonel T. Baggin. Let me see if I can find anything about Colonel T. Baggin. We'll go up here and go Colonel T. Baggin. Let's see what it represents. Let's see. Grok, can you explain to me what this means? Is this a metaphor for something, or does it represent hazmat packaging, hazmat cans, automated bagging, auto baggers, largest U.S. Air Force veteran directory service, Army Armored Brigade Combat Team builds transformation, Colonel T. Hurling. Okay, well, he's a general now. Okay, combat team, no. Military records, Colt Bagging Corp, nope, nothing on that. Okay, let's see if it represents anything else. Let's see what Grok has to say about that. Grok. Can you find anything about Colonel T. Baggin, Baggin? Is this name a metaphor for something? Is this name a metaphor for something else? Something else? What does it represent? Is this person likely a bot? Is this likely a bot? Let's see what it says. You ready? All right. May take a second for this to get back. Colonel, you just appear out of nowhere and just suddenly show up and start talking about crap. Okay, Olaf. Let me see. Akbarian. Rula Akbarian. Let me see. That image was made by Rula Akbarian. So let me go over and find something else. Let's go find what is Rula Akbarian? So get it spelled right. Akbarian. Okay. Okay, let's go see what this says. Answering your question using AI summary. Rula Akbarian, Facebook, with others I know. Kentucky Murders List, Murderpedia. What the hell is that all about? Rula Akbarian profiles on LinkedIn. There are 2 professionals named Rula Akbarian who use LinkedIn to exchange information. Music, YouTube, Rula Akbarian, Venmo. Hey, you can send me money there, Rula. Related searches. I'm a painter, sculptor. Rula Akbarian is an artist on Yuzum from Iran. Okay. Here, we found him. Okie dokie. Rula Akbarian, artist, Iran is the Republic of. Oh, we know something about you already. Okay, Colonel. Okay. So let me just ask them. I'm going to point out to them really quickly. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let me go here. So are you, let me see if is there a bazaar? So do you live in the bazaar, or do you frequent the bazaar often, Rula? Frequent the sex bazaar. I'll put that in sex bazaar. Bazaar in Tehran often. Okay. Rula Akbarian. Okay, Rula Akbarian. I know this is a GIF, a GIF, a GIF, but there's a correlation, there's a connection between Colonel T-Baggin, that's probably Tehran, likely. Just guessing, I used to be in crypto and code breaking and stuff. Listened in on a lot of crap in the past. Sure did when I was in the Navy, especially. So let me see. Okay. I love this period in time. As a matter of fact, I may move to Florida soon. Well, you have to get out of Tehran first. Okay. Find a way to get. Let me see. Supreme Leader. Khomeini. Chomeni. I see Ini. Khomeini. Let you leave Tehran first. In Florida? Oh, wow. That might be a little hard for you. That could be a little hard for you. Could be a little bit of a challenge for you since most of the young women there, are gorgeous beach babes. Gorgeous beach babes. Oh my God. Here we go. What's this call all about? This one we're picking. Oh, it's my sister. What's this? Here we go. Hey, this is Cassandra's Lunch Hour. I'm live. Okay, do you want to talk live too? This is your first time on the show?
No, I do not.
You're a first-time caller, first-time show person at midnight on Noon Norman.
That's okay.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay. You get some strange people stuff, cry. Why not fly? Okay. Evidence from studies, grok, all of that. Let me go back over and check this out. somebody, the mix, and 3 others liked my reply. No, I do not support this. It's dumb. It's horrific. Most of all, it's deliberately cruel. And it is. So no, I do not support this, and we'll fight against DeSantis and the small-minded and these small-minded idiots. Okay, so Colonel T. Baggin, this is also from Buck, says this is a display name for Baggin Tea, an X account created in February 2024 with under 100 followers. The name puns on teabagging, a slang term often mocking conservative Tea Party activists, fitting the user's right-leaning inflammatory replies. No verifiable real-world identity or military record exists publicly, suggesting a synonymous troll persona rather than a bot, as posts show human-like provocation without automation patterns. I'm going to say, okay, the GIF included Colonel T Baggin was produced by Rula, what was I looking for? Rula, something other. Ak, Barian, most likely of Tehran, Iran, suggesting connections to the Shia theocracy, There. Your thoughts? Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Rule Barian. That exactly. Right. All right. Let me go on down. Let's see if anybody else is replying to it. All the gay people I know are fed up with. I already replied to all that. But Peter Huckleshits. Oh, my God. You're not even that's close to being a good Huckleberry fan or even a play on Huckleberry fan. While you're mentioning this, okay. Pride Crosswalk has been removed. Co-parter. Oh, I know it's been removed. I know. And it was dumb. It was and is a dumb, cruel move designed to intimidate LGBTQ plus Americans, period. It's not working. This trans terrorist from Mudlick Road is not amused. Okay. There's been a few more notifications on here. Your post was sent. Stop sharing. Things I actually get in here and do this. I did work on something last night that I do want to share with everyone, and hopefully I can do this in just a little bit. I've been talking 54 minutes. We've been talking for 54 minutes already. Oh my God, I guess so. Oh well, so what? Now here we go. Let's see. Okay, replying to the GIF is indeed signed by Rola Akbarian, an artist, sculptor, painter based in Tehran, Iran, who has shared works on platforms like Tinder and social media. Iran operates under a Shia theocracy system, but no available sources indicate Akbarian has direct ties to it. Okay, I can accept that. Location and proximity notwithstanding. Yeah. Choked by patriarchy. Yeah. I'm having fun doing it. Come on. Come on with me. Just join. Have fun with it. I'm going to stop sharing for just a little bit here. And I do want to find something I've been working on. Here. All right. So we're going to share screen one more time. Now this was on a more serious note. Just use this as a way to kind of engage, get people to see that I want to talk about this topic a little more in depth with a little more seriousness about it. So I'm going to share this because this is important. This is important for all the trans people out there in this country and our supporters, allies, defenders, and families and friends, wherever you might be and whoever you might be. It doesn't matter to me. So I've created a little manual here. Let me blow it up a little bit to kind of get this so you can see it better. That's 150% increase in size. Let's go up just one more time. 175% increase. This is the Mudlick Road Manual, a trans American's guide to reclaiming your story. So part of what's been going on here lately is that we've abdicated our responsibility to tell our stories, but not just that, we've let the story be defined by other people who don't know us. And they've taken the ball and ran with it, and we haven't pushed back on that. So in order for us to kind of regain this story and to move forward again with this, one, you have to learn how to be honest with yourself about who you are. That's the first part about it. One, you have to recognize and you have to stand firm on these things, that you're not running away from the biology of who you are. There are parts of that biology that we are changing, that we've changed. I've changed parts of my biology just because I wanted to match more correctly with my gender, which is not the same as my chromosomal sex. So I've worked years and years and years on hormones and surgeries and procedures and adaptations I need for me personally to be that person that I've modified hormonally and surgically and all kinds of things. This body you see, I'm not worried about the darn voice. It's a Marine Corps voice. It actually gives me something to talk about with a lot of people. I'm not worried about all of that. It is what it is. But I've modified everything about this body that you see. Hormonally, the hormones, everything within this body that's flowing through it is all female, with the exception of a few minor tweaks that have to do. You want to maintain some testosterone, but the level is near zero. It's not much above that. You have to have a little to survive successfully, and every genetic woman does too. All right, there's a little bit of testosterone in there, and especially whenever you go through menopause, you end up with very little estrogen left, and then the testosterone kicks in, and that's why you have a lot of women, older women, who will have a facial hair and stuff like that. Their voice will deepen and things. That's because the estrogen has stopped essentially being produced in large quantities. So they're left with whatever testosterone there was to start out with, naturally occurring in the body. But for me, I flipped that on top of itself. I've changed the biology of who I am physically, anatomically, hormonally. The only thing I can't change, the one thing we do not yet have the ability to change, would be the sex chromosomes. We can't change that yet. I figure that at some point in the future, we will be able to do that too. It's just a matter of tweaking it in some way and modifying the genes. We already know about gene manipulation, and we know about, CRISPR. You heard of CRISPR? You can use CRISPR to go in and cut, edit, and splice genes and things like that. We know that can be done. We know that we're getting into that place. We're not quite there just yet, but a time will come whenever I could go in, and I'll probably be too old to even try it, but I could go in. I know I've got XY genes. I've got a son who has a Y gene or Y chromosome. I know that he's got that. And I know that those chromosomes produce the proteins that make him who he is, a tall, strong, young, strapping man in his early 40s. Yeah. So he's got those things. He got them from me. But there's coming a time when you can go in and use CRISPR or any other thing like that for gene modification and strip out those components that leave the XY system in place and put just XX in place, because that's who I really am. Even though I know that chromosomally I've got XY on a superficial level. like 1950s science level. That doesn't mean that if you dig down further into it and you start investigating further and you dig down in and find out new things and learn new things, that you won't find that there are some slider switches associated with the way some of those genes produce proteins. Because that's the foundation of the differences, right? So anatomically female, hormonally completely female, that's me. In every way. With the exception, I don't have a uterus. Though the science is at the place where I could if I wanted, but I don't. I'm too old. I don't want to go through all that again. Oh my God. I have 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and I am satisfied and happy with them. I'm very thrilled that they are in this world with me. Okay. They can carry that burden. That's like, I'll make sure their kids have drums and chocolate and send them back home. So, know your history. Your playbook is old and worn. Their playbook is old and worn. So look here. This is a lot of what I've been talking about all along. We got to know who we are. You got to know the science of you. You've got to stand firm on that. Don't let people bully you whenever they come up to you and they go, "You're just a man or a woman. That's all that God created." And you know darn well that is not the truth. There are no absolutes. It's not black and white. Never has been, never will be. The fact that there are no black and whites is what makes us survive, what has enabled humanity to survive this long. Doesn't mean we won't survive next year. But that diversity in the way our genes express is what makes us all look different. We all don't look like Adam or Eve, if you believe in those things, which I don't. So, no, the reason we're different is because that's the way it was. That's the way the system is set up, folks. That the element of diversity is there, and so it is included in the process. That little bit of diversity and inclusion, all right there in our genetic makeup, makes us all different. Thank God, right? You wouldn't want to have a clone of everybody from back in 6,000 years ago. There'd be 3,000 Adams and 3,000 Eves with all the same color of skin, hair, everything, and the shapes of their genitalia and everything would all be identical. But no, when you look at humanity writ large, you see very few specific similarities, general similarities, but no specific generalities or characteristics. So you got to know, you've got to learn about a lot of things. So remember the left-handed people, remember Alan Turing, remember Albert Cashier, remember Joanna Clark, my friend I met in Long Beach, California about 3 years ago. She's around 91 now. Joanne Clark's story is amazing. Enlisted in the Navy in the 1950s. Got out as a chief in the late 1960s. Was an electronics expert. Transitioned to female after getting out of the Navy. Got her honorable discharge out of the Navy. Transitioned to female, worked with the U.S. Army in California, developing some of their electronics and working on stuff like that, whatever it was she was working on. They liked her so much that they asked her to enlist in the Army. They wanted her to come and work full-time for them and not just part-time. So they knew who she was. They knew that she had transitioned. They knew that she had gotten out of the Navy as a male and had been honorably discharged. But they knew her as Joanne Clark, that she had physically, completely, in every way changed and transitioned. And so they let her come into the Army. For several years, she worked for California in the Army in California, developing electronics and stuff like that for the U.S. Army. Then the Pentagon found out that she was there. They tried to accuse her of lying to enlist in the Army. But no one would accept that because it wasn't true. Her command in California all knew, all the way up to the colonel, that she had transitioned from male to female. And they had invited her in because she was highly skilled. She got the job because of her merit, folks. She was no threat to anybody. She did her job. She did it well. And yet the Pentagon got wind of it in the late, I guess it was early 1970s, somewhere around that period of time, mid 70s, I think, actually. And then gave her an option: resign or we'll fire you. She chose to let them try to fire her, essentially, because they had to offer her an honorable discharge as Joanne Clark to get out of the Army because she had done nothing wrong. The only reason they wanted her out because, well, she's trans. And that sounds like stupid bullshit, doesn't it? That you would kick out a highly qualified person just because they're trans. They posed no threat to anyone. They were doing their jobs. They did it well. The Army liked their work, but oh my God, it's a trans person. So she has an honorable discharge from the Army as Joanne, honorable discharge from the Navy as her male persona. Same stuff is happening again, a different day, different time, only this time it's worse. So anyway, I'm going to talk more and more about this. Reclaim the conversation over here on the side, the power of reality. Got to start admitting who you are. Don't try to brush it aside. Don't go around saying that you aren't this or you are that or this, whatever it is. Make sure that what you are saying actually matches reality. Claim it, face it, claim it, use it, living your truth. Those are different things we can talk about. Conclusion, the American birthright. This noise will continue. The attacks will continue. But for us trans terrorists, satirically stated, coming out of Mudlick Road, you got to know how to survive and thrive and make it through all of this because it's not going to let up. It's going to be decades before we have a chance to even get back to some semblance of, peace and stability and acceptance. And even then, it'll be a big challenge because ever so often these cycles swing one way or the other. Albert Cashier faced it in 1910 to 15. Joanne faced it. Alan Turing faced it. The 20,000 people who were kicked out of the federal government in the 1950s under the Lavender Scare, gays and lesbians kicked out for security threat reasons. We see this stuff coming and going. So what I'm trying to do is get you prepared to ride these cycles out. Take care of yourself.